What's the deal, Neal?
And what is the deal with those guys up north getting down and dirty? Yesterday, we discussed a grassroots campaign in Canada to get Bob Ford out as mayor of Toronto. Arthur in New Orleans writes, all I know is Bob Ford is still mayor, isn't he? Yes, Arthur, he is. TR in Michigan. Every one of the crackpots I see featured in these billboards looks like villains from a bad movie. Rest easy, Mayor Ford, rest easy. Well, good point. They did look like a pretty scary bunch, didn't they? Victor via AOL, what part of this guy ain't going don't these haters understand? If Ford were a true disaster, he'd be out of there by now, or certainly would have been kidnapped by somebody and left tied up at a Baskin-Robbins by now. They do have Baskin-Robbins up there, don't they? Well, I believe they do, Victor, but don't give those billboard guys any ideas. Steve on Facebook writes, I have no idea who these people are, but anyone better than is an underused slogan. Thomas writing, Mayor Ford did a lot of good things for the city. Mars tweeting, Mayor Ford is honest and keeps taxes down, a rare find among our leading elite, which is why I suspect the mayor is surviving this soap opera as well as he has. Switching gears now, would our founding fathers really want Obamacare? Nancy Pelosi says you bet they would. But best as I can recall, the only health care reference I ever heard Ben Franklin make was something about early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and rise. I do not recall his ever adding a government agency to that to make sure folks heeded his advice. Great tweeting. Do you think the founders would have even wanted Nancy Pelosi? Jim, founding fathers would have no idea what Obamacare is. It runs contrary to everything they believed in. Glenn on Facebook, I don't think the founding fathers would agree with a lot of what's happening now. Alexa via Yahoo, I think if the founding fathers were to come back and see the likes of Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid and Barack Obama trampling on our individual rights today, they'd have ripped up that Declaration of Independence and concluded, you know, the king isn't that bad after all. It's a very good point. Well, it's segments like that get a lot of viewers like you thinking you're getting a lot more than your basic news on basic cable. And you are. Mary in Montreal appreciates it. North of the border, Cavuto, with humor and wit, you managed to poke convention and poke us. And this 68-year-old grandma is always open to a good poke. That's all I could say. Thanks, you hot little Italian Prince Spaghetti. All right. Denise tweets, Neal, you're a genius. Who'd have thunk it? Who indeed, Denise? Who indeed? X tweeting, Neal, I think you're a fool. Or is that a tool? Whatever it is, I hope it's a power tool. This from Don. Is Neal a completely incompetent interviewer or what? Not completely, Don. Some days, just mostly. Keep watching. I mean, keep watching someone else, you condescending, sanctimonious, annoying twit. Good night.